Today, I want to talk to you about how food coloring can prolong an immune response against a food someone has a sensitivity to. So, let's go over the basics. When the immune system has a reaction against a food protein, and it makes antibodies against it as part of the reaction, you have to understand that antibodies don't attach to the entire protein; they attach to a sequence of amino acids, right? And when we normally digest proteins, there's only the ability to have an antibody attached to it until our digestive enzymes break it down. And once the amino acid sequences are broken down from peptides to individual amino acids, it's not possible for the immune system to attach an antibody to it since there's no more amino acid sequences. Now, when food coloring is added to a food protein, it delays the time it takes to digest the protein. So if someone has a reaction to a food protein, and it would normally take, let's say a couple hours to break down that food protein into individual amino acids, which then would not allow immune reactions against the food to take place. When food coloring is added, it could take an additional 2, 3, 4 hours before the digestive system can break down those peptides that antibodies are binding to before it gets broken down to individual amino acids. So just kind of think of food coloring as something that gets in the way of breaking down proteins. It slows down the breakdown of proteins. A binding of food coloring agents to the protein structure basically gets in the way of enzymes breaking those protein bonds. So, if someone is sensitive to food, they'll have some reaction, but if they're sensitive to the food and food coloring is added to it, it's going to have a sustained and much longer immune response. So you're going to see this in clinical practice all the time. You're going to see some people react to foods and say, "God, I got exposed to jelly beans, or I got exposed to tandoori chicken, or I got exposed to some kind of food at the fair that was colored orange, and I just felt so awful." Well, it's possible that the food coloring really played a big role in preventing the immune system from breaking that protein, and those peptides stayed in the system for long periods of time and had ongoing antibody reactions against them. The key thing to know is that food coloring is going to be one of those things that prolongs the ongoing reaction with antibodies to food proteins that a person is sensitive to.